Hey all, welcome to Parker's Reefs. On today's episode, we're going to add my first fish to my brand new UNS soft coral display system. Alright, thank you for joining me on yet another episode of Parker's Reefs, and as touched on in the intro, today is the day we are finally ready to add my first fish to my beautiful new UNS soft coral display tank. Now, it has been some time if you've been following the series along, and there's a few reasons for that. I really wanted to make sure this tank was very well cycled before adding its first fish in there, and I also tasked my local fish shop, Deer Park Aquarium, with a big challenge with some pretty strict criteria of a suitable fish to put in this tank. In fact, a suitable fish list to put into this tank. And if you do recall, I really wanted to go with something that was very different from my dream reef tank, which sits just out in my living room over there, because to be honest, that tank has all of the fish and all of the corals that I thought I ever wanted. But as all of you know, if you've been in the reefing game for any sort of time at all, there are a lot of incompatibilities out there. Now, often you have fish-only systems and you have reef systems. I sort of want to merge the two a little bit, which I know is compromising a little bit, but there are some predator fish out there that I think will work just fine with soft corals, and that's the angle I sort of wanted to go for. So I gave my local fish shop some bounds to work with around nano-sized predator fish that are not going to destroy soft corals, and they've reached out to me and said, Sam, this week we've had some crazy fish in and we think we've got something for you. So I'm super excited to head up the highway, go and see Blake and have a look at the fish they have in stock, pick one out for my soft coral tank, and also finally get some soft corals that I have been cherry picking and putting aside out the back at Deer Park Aquarium. They've got a frag system back there where I've been stashing a few pieces. I've been waiting to the point when I could get some flow in this tank, and I'm super pleased to say that this week I also picked up off Facebook Marketplace, of all places, a secondhand Tunzi pump which fit the budget nicely. I know a lot of you have been talking about budget conscious items for this tank, and understandably so, because the tank itself was quite a large purchase, and then a number of the equipment that's gone in there has been some of the more pricier items. Well, I'm glad to say that I have picked up a second-hand Tunzi pump, which was ridiculously cheap and is going to do the flow of this tank very nicely. So today we're going to head up the highway, we're going to go see Blake, have a look at the fish that he reckons are going to work in my tank. I'm going to get this Tunzi pump mounted in there, I'm going to get these corals glued in the tank, and hopefully add my first fish. Let's head up the highway now and go see Blake at Deer Park Aquarium. Alright Blake, it looks like the tank is well and truly ready for some long overdue livestock. What's your professional opinion?
Yes, definitely overdue for some livestock. No, the tank's been doing really well. We've even got some small snails everywhere. Yeah, so you've had a snail spawn.
I'll put some footage on screen, but there was an explosion of stomatalas in there, which is awesome to see. It means there's obviously lots of life in the tank, and it's holding that life, which is kind of important, because today I brought along some extra equipment. I want to put a wave maker in the tank that I just picked up secondhand off Facebook Marketplace.
Sweet.
And realistically, that's because I want to get some life in this tank. I want some corals that I know we've been cherry picking some nice softies over the last few weeks to stash out the back in the frag tank. But I'm also hoping that with all of the incredible fish you guys have got in over the last couple of weeks, that there might be something that we can put in this tank as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
We've got a lot of good stuff. And yeah, let's go have a look.
All right, sounds good. Cheers.
Sweet. All right, Sam, here we are. This is one of the things that we're hoping would be great for your tank.
He's an awesome looking fish, but he's pretty big. He's about the size of that tank.
Yeah, unfortunately he came in a lot bigger than we were expecting. He is really cool though. Hopefully we can get one for you in the future. But a little bit about this guy.
What is he for starters?
Yeah, so he's a frogfish.
Okay.
Right? Okay. They're really cool. They're kind of...
This is his mouth here?
Yes. Yeah, this is his mouth. He also has like a little fishing rod that sometimes he flicks out. But he's like an ambush predator, so he'll sit and wait, and when small fish and crustaceans come past him, he'll strike, or he'll lure them with his little fishing rod.
Yeah, crazy.
So he
like distracts them with that, and they look at that, and when they're looking at that, he just bang from behind.
Pretty much.
Cool. His little legs just propping himself up there.
Yeah, they're super cool. They're not massive swimmers. They more kind of walk around the bottom of the ocean floor. But they're very stealthy, and they're really cool. He's starting to move for us now.
Yeah, he's going to put on a show for us, get those little legs walking around. Here he goes. Super cool. And these guys, they do come in different sort of colours, but they're always sort of trying to camouflage into
Yes.
rocks or seaweed or things like that.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different variations on them.
Yep.
Sometimes you can get them with kind of tassel-y fins.
Yes.
But yeah, they come in purples, dark reds like this one, yellows even.
Crazy.
But no, they're super cool. And they would be great for your tank. Unfortunately, I just feel he's a bit big.
He's a little bit big. Obviously, as you say, he's not a big swimmer, but I mean, he's going to be like doing a couple of hops around the tank and he's going to see everything. So we don't want to give him a hard time. We want to make sure he's got a big tank. And I'm also imagining that, obviously, being a predator fish and with a pretty big mouth, anything that fits in his mouth is going to be food, yeah?
Yeah, pretty much. And with his mouth, he can open it very wide. So yeah, you're looking at...
most things are food.
Most things are food.
Yeah, no, fair call. I am looking for something that's a bit different that I couldn't have in my display tank, but... I mean, the size that he is and the size of the mouth that he has is probably going to mean that he would be a fish only. He would be the fish in the tank, which
pretty much
is. I don't mind. I don't want to put 50 fish in this tank. It's only small, but maybe more than one. So, yeah, he's super cool, and I love him. And I'll be sure to get some close-up footage for everyone looking at him because what a unique dude he is. But have you got anything else? I know you guys have got in some of the best fish you've had for a couple of years over the last week or two. On the same sort of vein of something a little bit different, something that I couldn't put in the Dream Reef tank at home, maybe with a face like this that only a mother could love. Have you got something that you think would suit the size of tank I have?
Yes, I think I do. So I'm a little reluctant, but yes, I believe we can.
All right, tell me more.
Yeah, so I've got a store pet here.
Okay.
He can't go in my tank either.
Yes.
But yeah, he's been my little guard dog for a while.
Okay.
And I'm pretty happy if you would like to put him in your display since he's going to be staying here.
Okay.
He's super cool, but why don't we go have a look and I'll tell you about him.
All right, we'll leave this guy to a slightly bigger tank and we'll check out your store pet.
Yeah, let's do it.
So walking through the store, Blake was not kidding when he said they have some of the best fish they've had in for a year or more. Walking past this tank here that has two big, beautiful and healthy yellow tangs in there is a sight to see. Obviously not super suitable for my soft coral display, but things like this here, a wild pair of flame angels could work, although it does come with a pretty price tag. In this system, there's some more stunners, including Atlantic blue tangs, both yellow and blue. Obviously, they all end up blue. Even a rock beauty angel in there, which would also be quite suitable. Moving on to the predator side of things, they do have this jumbo clown trigger, which is way too big for the soft coral display tank, but what a cool fish. Also have this gorgeous porcupine puffer, which probably is too big, but also falls into the category of smashing every soft coral and anemone he sees on site. And then you've got the stars and stripes puffer here, which is also a bit large. Speaking of large, you've also got these traditional lionfish, which I absolutely love the look of, but again, too big. So I'm super curious to see what Blake has for me. Let's go see now.
All right, Blake, we're at the back of Deer Park Aquarium here, or what I like to call the vault. I can see a heap of frags in here, but
yes.
You reckon there's something else in here that might be suitable?
Yes. There's a lot of things in here that I kind of want to put in your tank, but we won't get carried away.
Okay,
Cool. Yeah, so this is my frag tank here at work. So yeah, most of our corals in the $35 tank come from out the back here.
Okay.
You know, I'm always propagating and trimming some corals up and just letting them grow out.
Yeah, nice. So when you get something in the bag and it's like an SPS and it's in shipping, it's broken an arm off, rather than just turfing that, stick it on a tile, put it in here and
pretty much
grow it out.
Yeah.
And then once it's encrusted, it's a $35 piece, which is good for sustainability, but also good for the shop. I mean, you're not wasting coral.
Yeah, for sure. And as well as zoas, I've been propagating a lot of zoas. And gonnies. Gonnies have been going really well for us now too.
Keeps the hobby affordable for everyone.
Exactly.
Also means you get to not take from the wild so much. If you can, keep one piece and turn that into multiple pieces over time, then why not?
Yeah, exactly. It's a win-win for everyone. But
there's heaps of beautiful pieces in here. There's no doubt about it. But I mean, as much as I did bring in a wave maker today because I want to put some coral in the tank, I'm really excited about a fish. And the frogfish out there was stunning. But you told me there's a fish out here. Now, I'm looking at ceramic tiles of gonies and zoas and acros.
There's a fish out here.
Okay.
I swear.
All right. What are we looking at?
This is my guard dog, right? I've had him for a couple of months
Okay.
now. Very fond of him. He's actually one of my favorite fish.
Yes.
He's actually one of the fish that got me into the hobby.
Ooh, okay. Oh, man, the pressure is high. This is sentimental value.
Yes. But no, so we're in here, if you can try and see it. We have a Fu Man Fu Manchu lionfish.
Okay, all right.
He's super cool. I call him Mr. Miyagi. You can call him whatever you would like.
No, Mr. Miyagi seems fitting with a name like that.
Yeah.
But tell me about a Fu Manchu. Obviously, lionfish, the name, the lionfish you've got out in the fish room out there,
Yep.
quite synonymous with the hobby. People know them. I mean, even Deuce Bigelow made a smoothie out of one of them.
Yes, very true. Please don't do that.
What's the difference between sort of like your Volatile? Is that how you pronounce the Volatile lionfish?
Volatile.
And a Fu Manchu.
Fu Manchu, yeah. So Fu Manchus are part of the dwarf species of
Okay.
lionfish.
Yes.
So even though lionfish are beautiful, big creatures, we also have dwarf species in the oceans. And yeah, he's exactly the same as them, though. He is poisonous. He's got spines, so be careful with him.
Okay.
He is a predator. He will eat anything he can catch.
Yes.
Anything that he'll fit in his mouth, it's gone.
Right.
But yeah, he doesn't get too big, and he's absolutely stunning. He is one of the best looking lionfish, in my opinion.
Nice.
And yeah, he's really cool.
All right. Oh, it sounds like a perfect fish. I can actually just see him in the top back corner there, just hiding out. So don't poke him. You don't need to show us how strong his venom is, but we might go about catching him, acclimating him, and getting him into that tank. But now that you've put the fear of God in me with his poison, what I might do is get some of these soft coral frags out of here, and or even just some soft coral pieces. Not all of them are frags. Get them glued into the tank first and get that wave maker set up just so that I've got my hand out of the tank before we go adding a poisonous fish.
That sounds like a great idea. I reckon we do that first. So we'll get some of the softies and stuff we've been cherry picking for you.
Beautiful.
And yeah, we'll set the tank up, scape it properly, put some corals in, put your wave maker in, and then we'll start acclimating this guy and should be all good.
Awesome. Let's do it.
Sweet.
Alright, so here is a quick look at some of these softies. Here is a beautiful long polyp leather, and it's got some really nice colour to it. Very, very grateful that Blake has been able to keep this one aside for me. Here is another quite a large long polyp leather as well, and this one just has a different coloration. Super excited to get this one in the tank and get some contrast against that other leather as well. Blake has also kept aside a number of other softies for me, but just to check in on the one that we put in the last video, there is this piece here, this blue soft coral that has spread across a bit of algae there and attached itself to a couple of pieces of rock, so that seems to be doing quite well. Now, I did want to quickly show you Blake's tank, that if you have been watching the videos of late, you'll know that he has moved this from a 3-foot system to a 4-foot system in store, and it's only been there for about a week and a half now. Have a look at the coral health and coral color in there. Impeccable. He is putting me to shame, so I need to get to work on this beautiful new soft coral tank. And one of the things I wanted to do first was do an update on this NVS Aquarium's polycarbonate lid. You can see the first design here was allowing quite a bit of salt creep to come over the top of the tank, and you can see that there was water settling between the lid and the top of the glass, which was just creating this salt creep. So I reached out to Nick, and he came up with this very clever little design update, which just has these little bumps on the underside of that lid, which allows it to breathe and stops water forming there. If you can't see them, I'll get my finger in so you can see exactly where they are. There's these little bumps here. They stand up about a millimeter, not a lot, but enough for the water to not sit there. Now, I got some glue out and got to work on these corals in the tank. Obviously, this is a time lapse to speed things up a little bit, and I had a heap of trouble getting these gorgonians to sit exactly where I wanted them. I want them up high. It's just not working for me, so I'm going to sit them down low for now, and eventually I'll get around to getting those up a bit higher. I needed to get them in the tank because they were getting cold out there, and I wanted to get the Tunzi in the tank as well, and you can see here the Tunzi has been mounted, and it does sit very, very nicely in that little controller section there on the UNS systems. That magnetic door comes off. You see I've got my temperature controller, I've got the Reef factory base pump there, and the Tunzi wave controller, and it sits in very nicely indeed. You can see the 3 of them there. I've sped up the Reef factory base pump up to 90% to really get some flow going on as well, and I think it all looks fantastic. But enough talk of equipment, let's get this fish settled in the tank.
All right, Sam, how'd we go?
Yeah, I've got some things glued in. I know you were pointing out this gorgonian here. You could probably had a good spot up higher, and I tell you what, man, I tried so hard to glue that in there, and it just didn't want to do it. I don't know what's going on with me today, but I figured that will do for now. And if I need to move it later, I'll have to arm wrestle the Fu Manchu then.
Yeah, no worries. Like, yeah, just whenever you put your hand in the tank from now on, just be careful. Be mindful. He is a lionfish, and he does like to sit like underneath rocks as well.
Okay.
So sometimes they're not in the most obvious spots.
He can jump out and shock you.
Yeah. So just be careful. But look,
Sure.
it looks great. Yeah, just in the future, the only thing I probably would change is, yeah, as I was saying earlier, the Gorgonians, I'll probably put a bit higher. But other than that,
I guess they're not going to. The nature of them's pretty open. They're not going to shade things underneath them, so high is probably good. But for now, that'll get the job done. And I've got the Tunzi in there pulsing away, which will hopefully get the polyps on these leathers open and the Gorgonians sooner rather than later.
Yep.
But it's probably time for the star of the show, and I'm guessing that's what you've brought me in this bucket.
So here he is.
Awesome.
But yeah, so we will give him a drip acclimation.
Yep.
Yeah, just a nice long one, just because temperature changes from the back room to the main room.
In the same shop,
Yeah.
the water is different. This system's had this water in it for a couple of months now, so we'll acclimate him in just to make sure he goes through the smoothest transition possible, and then we'll let him loose in the tank.
Yeah.
How long do you recommend acclimating him for?
Well, normally until you're around double the amount of water in the bucket.
Okay.
So we want to have a drip around every second.
Yes.
And it's really important with drip acclimating as well that we don't have the end of the hose underneath the water.
Okay. So you want it to actually drip.
Yeah, we want it to actually drip because otherwise there's lack of oxygen.
Okay, no worries.
So we want the drip to be breaking the surface of the water.
Yes.
And about a drip per second, and until we double the amount of water.
All right, great. Leave it with me.
Nice.
Thanks, mate.
Let's go.
Okay, so I've grabbed a bit of airline here and got that dripping down into the bucket with a little knot in line so I can control the speed of that siphon. It's currently a little bit quick in there, but you can see how the drip is hitting that water and breaking the surface of that water, and it does not take too long at all for that water to start building up in the bucket. And you can see the little Mr. Miyagi Fu Manchu lionfish here starting to get a bit of color and looking a bit more like himself now that he's settling in. Super excited to get him in the tank and see how he goes in there.
Cool. All right, Blake, our dwarf Fu Manchu lionfish has been drip acclimating for a while now, and the water has doubled. He's looking pretty sprightly in there.
Yeah, he's looking very active.
Now, obviously with a fish like this that is venomous, we don't want to just grab him with our hands and put him in the tank. We've got to show a little bit of caution and...
Yes, well, like you could, but I wouldn't.
You could, but it might hurt a little.
Yes, more than a little. But yeah, exactly right. So as I was saying before, it is a lionfish. They are venomous.
Yes.
They do have spikes. Fu Manchus have spikes along the back and on their belly.
Oh, okay.
So we just got to be really careful with them.
Yeah. This might sound elementary to you, but you got to remember, I've never had a predator fish before in my life, so I need to go back to basics on this. So even if it sounds like there's something I should know, don't be afraid to let me know. So knowing that they have spines on the belly and on the back, just in general, it's good just not to touch these fish.
Yeah, pretty much.
And if you do, it's call an ambulance. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a couple ways. It depends how badly you're going to get hurt, honestly. But as soon as you get stung, put wherever you're stung in hot water, as hot as you can handle.
Okay, all right. Hopefully I'll never have to do
then
that. But good to know.
ambulance.
You're better off knowing what you need to do in an emergency before it happens rather than in the moment. So good to know. Now, so we're not going to handle him. We're going to use a net to get him out of the drip acclimated bucket into the tank. Now that he does have like spines and stuff, do we need to be sort of mindful of the net? Like I don't want him to get caught in the net, and then obviously we can't use our hands to get him out of the net.
Yeah, exactly. So we just want to go nice and slow. We don't want to just go and scoop for gold pretty much. Just slow. He'll coast himself into the net, and then we'll just gently put him in.
Okay.
If he does get a little tangled, it's all right. Don't panic.
Don't panic.
Don't grab him.
No.
He'll fine. Just
put him in the tank.
Put him in the tank. Let go of the net, and he'll let his spines down, and he'll get out.
Sounds good. Oh, it sounds like enough precautions to me. I'm going to get this hose out of here and out of his bucket. All right, get all that out of there. Flick that aside for now. I'll take this beautiful NVS polycarbonate lid, which I have had updated to have some little bumps in it so that we don't get salt creep.
Yes.
Another one
which
of the...
is a great upgrade to them.
Nice little upgrade from the guys at NVS. All right, let's do it. You want me to scoop him up?
Let's do it.
All right, let's get him in here.
So yeah, just gently.
I love rectangular nets in circular buckets.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. in, and then, yep,
Look at that.
wonderful.
Easy
Easy.
as. He's going to kick around and freak out a little bit for a second and go, hang on, this isn't the frag tank.
Yeah. But as you can see, they're absolutely stunning, and he will colour up. Now he's in a tank. Give him a couple of hours and his colours will get nice and bright again once he gets comfortable. He's a little stressed. He's been obviously in a bucket and
he's just been
for a bit.
manhandled out of the frag tank, put into a bucket, and now he's into a whole new environment. So he's going to freak out a little bit, hopefully not end up in the pump. It looks like he's all good.
So the flow is pretty strong in the frag tank.
And he survived in there, so he should be all good. But we'll keep an eye on him and get him settled in, and I'll be sure to get some close-up footage of Mr. Miyagi.
Yes, Mr. Miyagi.
Awesome.
But yeah, he's really cool. Things we feed him in store at the moment, we do ghost shrimp.
Okay.
We have an abundance of ghost shrimp here at work.
Yeah. Nice.
And he loves them, and it's also good for them to kind of hunt down their prey. It's natural.
Yes.
Some people don't like it, which is fine. You can also, he will accept prawn.
Okay.
So we feed prawn in the shop, so he does eat frozen.
Yes.
But I just like to give him some live food every now and then.
Yeah, he is a predator fish after all.
Exactly.
That's obviously the sort of the vibe we're going to go in this tank is some sort of nano predator fish. So there's probably going to be the occasional ghost shrimp going in the tank for him to chase down. So good to know. Or we'll keep the food up to him and appreciate all your advice on a predator fish because it's a whole new journey for me.
Yeah, no worries, Sam.
All right, guys, there you have it. That is the addition of my first fish, Mr. Miyagi. The Fu Manchu is in the UNS soft coral tank, and I've got to say, this is a fish I have wanted for some time, and I've even flirted with adding this little guy into my dream reef tank over the years. Whenever I've seen a Fu Manchu come in, which I have to confess has not been all that frequent of late, I've often looked at the size of their mouth and gone, would you eat my clownfish? Would you eat my mandarins? Would you eat my scooter blennies? And decided to err on the side of caution and not put him into my dream reef tank. But this system is the perfect tank for it. There's not going to be any little tiny fish in there that would fit inside his mouth. It does give me the opportunity to have some soft coral friendly predator nano fish, which to be fair is a pretty niche market, and there's not going to be 100 fish in this tank, probably only another 1, 2, maybe 3 at tops in this tank, but they're all going to be fish much like Mr. Miyagi there that have a great personality and stuff that you just don't see in every reef tank out there, which fits the bill perfectly, and I'm super excited with how it's going. I'm also really excited to see some of those soft corals go in the tank and some variety of leathers in there. Blake has done really good in sourcing some nice small frags of some soft corals, particularly some long polyp toadstools for me, which to be fair, here in Australia, we don't really get the weeping willow toadstools that some of you guys do have access to overseas, but we've managed to find some super long polyp toadstools, which should look really nice. Blake has twisted my arm into putting in some photosynthetic gorgonians in that tank. It's something that he absolutely loves, and I'm on the fence with, so we're going to put them in this tank and see how they go. But I do admit, particularly once I work out how to get the glue going and I get those corals mounted up higher, their very open structure should allow plenty of light to pass through them to get to things like toadstools and other leathers beneath them. So I think mounting them up high will work really well. They're not going to create like an umbrella like a toadstool will, and will give a nice point of difference from those big umbrellas that toadstools are versus the nice open sort of fans that the gorgonians produce. So I think it's probably a good path to go, and I'm pretty confident that one tunzi in there is going to be more than enough flow in that tank, and it did integrate very nicely into the control panel of the UNS system, all neatly tucked away. The new update on the NVS Aquarium's lid with those little dimples on there just to stop salt creep forming, looks like that is going to work an absolute treat, and a big shout out to Nicholas for making that update to that lid. If you are looking for a polycarbonate lid for your tank, be sure to mention when you do get yours made that you want those little dimples in there to stop the salt creep, particularly if you have a rimless tank like the UNS. I think it makes a world of difference, and it's a really neat little upgrade. So much has happened. I'm super excited. I'm really keen to see where this soft coral tank goes over the coming weeks and what other fish we can put in to go in with Mr. Miyagi to really make this a super cool focal point at Deer Park Aquarium. If you do have any further suggestions, and I have been bombarded with suggestions from you guys at home of other fish that are going to work with the Fu Manchu, please do let me know in the comment section down below. I do personally reply to each and every comment there, so you can rest assured I read each and every one. And like I said, I do reply to each and every one. It is by far the best way to get hold of me. Now, I will wrap things up there, but I do want to give a huge shout out to these names on screen here. These are my channel members who chip in a couple of dollars each and every month to make things on this channel possible, and I really humbly appreciate your support. It has been a tough week this week. My family's been ill. I've been flirting with falling ill myself all week, but the excitement of being able to go up to my local fish shop and get a fish that I've never had the experience with before and get him into my display tank has absolutely lifted me up and got me over the line, and that's all possible thank you to these names on screen here. So a massive, massive thank you. Now that I'm catching my breath, because like I said, I have been a little bit poorly this week. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I look forward to seeing you next time. Same place, same time, brand new content right here on Parker's Reef next weekend. I'll see you then, guys. Till then, stay safe, keep reefing. Cheers, bye.